Hey, once again, we back. Welcome back to the rap scene. I'm your host, Jay. I got my homegirl and co-host,
Shirley Jew in
Shirley
the
Jew.
building.
Yeah, and we got a special guest for y'all today. This brother's been in the game for a very long time. Came up with a group who was very influential in the 90s. Has been around this hip hop industry for a very long time as well. Made many contributions. And he also came up with a legend that we all love dearly, especially out here on the West Coast, Tupac Shakur. But no other than the man himself. We have E.D.I.
Hey.
in the building. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Nice introduction right there. I'm great, man.
That's good.
Great, man. I'm
That's
awesome,
good.
Man. Appreciate the invite.
Oh,
Glad
likewise. I'm glad that you could bless us with your presence.
Yeah,
So,
man, that's what's up.
yeah, yeah. So, how's everything been for you? Like,
you mean
just overall, because you know
music,
it's
life, everything?
yeah, just life in general.
Man, life is good.
Life is good.
Life is good.
Okay,
La Bella Vida.
that's
That's
good.
the name of my new project.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I live by those words.
Okay. So, I guess we can get into it. So, the project you're working on right now, is it the Outlawz or just E.D.I. by himself?
This is a solo project. It's actually two of them I dropped on the same day.
Oh, okay.
July 23rd of this year. I mean, June 23rd of this year, I dropped both of those projects. OG3 and the Hope Dealer 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What made you drop two on one day?
A way to keep me interested in this shit and continue to do music and to challenge myself and see if I can do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
okay.
do it at a high level.
Right. Yeah. And it's amazing, you know, especially at this point in your life, that you still got something to offer. You know, because you talk to a lot of artists that's older. You know, they came up in the 80s and the 90s, and a lot of them just kind of like don't have that drive to put out any more music. So what keeps you like having that fire? Like, you know what? I'm gonna go in the studio. I'm gonna crank out some hits. I'm gonna put a project out. What keeps you motivated?
Yeah, it's a couple of things, man. Number one is our fans, man.
Okay.
Our fans that continue to support everything we do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Tupac, the Outlawz, we're blessed to have some of the most loyal fans.
Right.
You know, in music, in my opinion.
Okay.
And they go to bat for us every time, and so the audience is still there.
Right.
Why not feed them? And then also, it's a lot of me personally, it's a lot of new artists that inspire me.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Any particular ones you kind of have?
I'm like a fan of everybody, depending on how creative they are and what they're doing with it. But I listen to everybody from Anderson .Paak to Larry June and Jay Worthy.
Right.
Like, I'm all over the place as far as hip hop is concerned. You know what I mean? If it's dope, I'm fucking with it.
There you go.
Old or new.
Right.
And so, inspiration, man.
Okay.
I hear some other dope shit, I get inspired. I want to go to the studio.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because you know hip hop has changed so much, and you know we recently celebrated 50 years of it.
Yeah.
You know, and you guys was, I would like to say, the golden era, the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that was the best time for hip hop, in my opinion. So now we're in the 2023. So it's changed a lot. You know, with the style, the sound of music. What are your thoughts on it? Like, do you perceive it as it kind of like not bad, but like it's different? Like
streaming.
Yeah, streaming.
Well, the business side of it is very different, and we got to definitely, make some changes on the business side, because artists are definitely at the bottom of the totem pole.
Right.
It's really been like that since the beginning of music. The music industry, artists have been on the bottom of the totem pole, but we like way down now.
Exactly.
Shit. It's really crazy. But on the flip side of that, it's so many different avenues and ways to get money.
Yeah.
And with the internet, it made, the little homie in his room with a computer be able to put a record out.
Right. And
it be worldwide in a matter of, minutes.
That's true.
So we couldn't do that in the golden era.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's funny, I was having a conversation just yesterday, and I said to somebody, this is somebody else's golden era right now. You know what I mean? 10, 15 years from now, they're going to be looking at 2023 like, man, that was the best shit ever, man. And so that type of shit is, based on perspective, based on where you grew up. I feel the same way as you, that the 90s was the golden era of hip-hop. Some of the best hip-hop was put out on that, and history is going to prove us either right or wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
At the end of the day, we can all have our own opinions, but history say, you know,
True.
what the golden era, what the best era, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Do you think we could ever get back to that?
Back to that?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. And I don't think we should, you know what I mean? Because why go back?
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's all about moving forward, in my opinion.
Right.
It's all about what's next. And but having that said that, those we are humans and we love traditions and we love doing shit a certain way and we're creatures of habit. So there's nothing wrong with you, or if you're an old or a new artist and you love that sound, that's what's up.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's traditional jazz artists that love the way jazz was when it started and they don't care about nothing else. And then you have avant-garde people that want to do different shit and add different elements, and this is space for all of it.
Okay. Do you feel like, because we get a lot of people saying it, I'm sure you've seen this with other artists, right? Some of the artists is wearing fingernail polish now, they're wearing dresses now, you know what I mean? Wearing wigs, late fronts wigs. Like, it's so compared to the 90s where it was more masculine, more manly. And you would never see these type of things back in the 90s because they wouldn't allow it. The type of rappers we had back then. What are your thoughts on?
You got rappers wearing lace fronts now?
Yeah, it's a guy out of Atlanta. I think things like Little Wop or something like that.
Oh, I know Little Wop.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that, E.D.I? Like, I'm sure you have an opinion on it. You know what I mean? Like, what are your thoughts on like how they trying to make the rappers now more feminine?
Yeah, well, you know, it's definitely different, man. You know, in the 90s, it was definitely a lot of, you know, testosterone.
Of course.
You know what I mean? You know, sausage fest a lot of times.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
A lot of aggression and shit. You know what I mean? I love the fact that, from the female perspective, like a real actual woman.
Right.
I love the fact that there's more female energy in hip hop, and you know, ladies are saying, you know, it's our time and we want to say what we want to say. I may not love all of it, but I definitely appreciate a little balance. Man, you know what I'm saying? Because there was definitely a lot of aggression in the 90s, man.
That's true.
Everybody was, you know,
that's true.
Super pumped up. Now, moving forward, as far as, you know, the different clothes and, you know, fingernail polish and shit like that, it gets a little deeper than music, man. I feel like in society, you know, the woman is like almost put on a pedestal. Right. In a lot of ways. And toxic masculinity has become, you know, taboo and a word that and a phrase that people want to stay away from. And you had the whole Me Too movement that happened. So it's almost like being a man is not really that cool. No more. An actual man.
That's true. I agree.
You know, it's kind of like almost frowned upon. And if you're a man and you still like women and you still like speaking to women out in public, that's almost like, oh, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Don't do that. You gotta respect women. You can't talk to her like that. And so a lot of that energy has been, you know, almost I don't want to say diminished, but it's just kind of suppressed a lot. You know, and some dudes suppress that side of them not to offend people or whatever. I don't, you know, as far as the fingernail polish and all of that, I don't know if it's just to get attention or, you know, cats really into that. It's not my thing, but to each his own. But I just feel like overall there's a lot of feminine energy that, you know, has, from being suppressed for so long and not being allowed in, now you have a knee-jerk reaction where it's almost over. So we gotta just have balance, man. Balance is good for everybody. You know what I mean? It should be a balance of both energies, and that's what we need to be a, you know, a productive society, and, you know, everybody have their space and their say so. You know?
I got you. How do you feel, Shirley?
I was gonna say, how y'all feel about y'all seen the rapper that got liposuction?
Who?
Bandman Kevo or something?
Yeah.
I mean, well, he's the one that came out and said it publicly and admitted to it, but there's other rappers that have
he's the one that said other rappers do it but don't say it.
That's crazy. BBLs?
No.
Okay.
Like,
the lipo.
In the abdomen.
Okay.
But yeah, what are y'all thoughts on the BBLs? Let's get
BBLs?
How you feel, E.D., on the BBLs?
I'm not a fan of them.
Okay.
Really?
So you like them natural?
I'm dealing with gotta, you know.
Natural.
Come as you are.
I heard that.
And whatever needs, upgrading and fixing, we're gonna work at it.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's wild to me how, I guess, popular it is now.
Right.
It's almost like
it is.
But let me ask you: in the '90s, they wasn't doing BBLs, right?
I never heard of them.
I'm
the
sure.
closest was a Brazilian butt lift or, a breast job.
Right.
They had those, but it wasn't just so commonplace. It's like everybody got the money to go to the DR, Colombia, somewhere and just get snipped up and come back, brand new. And
but I also think it's incredibly dangerous. Like we all saw what happened with Jackie O.
Yeah,
rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
Facts.
It's like you're really risking your life to look better. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're not thinking about it going into it, but I don't know.
That's crazy.
And what are you doing it for?
Right.
I think you got to really, have a conversation with yourself before you do it. Yeah. Why am I doing this? If you're doing it for the approval of others, then you need to stop right there.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the first one. And then second, if you're doing it because you have low self-esteem and you don't like the way you look, well, have you tried to do anything to improve that? Or do you just want it real quick?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You probably need to stop, take a pause too. You know what I mean? If you can answer all those questions honestly, then do what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's your life. It's your body. Do what you do. But I think for me, a lot of people just kind of go into it like because it's the pressure.
It's like a fad. It's like a fad.
Everybody's taking pictures and picking themselves apart.
Right.
Looking at the same picture 30 times in one day, you're gonna find something wrong.
True.
You know what I mean?
True. That's true.
It's crazy too. When you were coming up, there wasn't really no social media. Right?
No, we didn't have these devices.
That's
wild.
What I'm saying?
Like we didn't. And I look back at some of the pictures, we was looking crazy. It was craggy as hell. Shit was crazy, and it's probably because we didn't have cameras and taking pictures all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like the baggy era.
You like the baggy era?
Yeah.
It's going back to it.
White tees.
Yeah,
it's going back to it.
It's kind of going back to it with some of these rappers now.
Oh wow.
They wearing the whole baggy.
Even bell bottoms, I seen.
Yeah, the bell bottoms too.
My little homies, they rocking the bell bottoms.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Right.
Everything goes in a circle.
That's true. Let me ask you this, E.D. With Tupac, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all know Tupac was. Well, some people say Tupac was controversial. He was very outspoken, and just imagining the time we're in now, like a lot of things wouldn't go on. Would you agree or disagree?
As far as what?
For him being outspoken about things he don't totally agree with, whether it's the feminization of hip hop, or the people beefing back and forth over the internet, just things just being no structure.
Yeah, I mean, he was, like you said, he was very outspoken.
Right.
Right up until the very end.
Yeah.
And this wasn't a person that would hold back on how he felt.
Right.
I mean,
right.
How
Exactly.
he actually felt, I don't ever like to try to speak for him or think for what he would do, because he was a complicated individual like we all are, and you just never know. But I do know he supported female hip hop.
Right.
His whole career, and would definitely champion the sisters getting a chance to do what they do.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, as far as the other shit, the dresses and fingernail polish, it would be interesting to see how he felt about that.
I can only imagine.
I'm sure he would be like, "Go ahead, express yourself how you want to." No.
Yeah.
I mean, I think absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he would be, at least from, this is me speaking.
Yeah.
I don't think he would be out there like, fuck that shit. Take that shit off. You niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wouldn't do it.
Right.
That wouldn't be something that he would do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he would definitely champion masculinity.
Right. Exactly.
Man,
exactly.
You know what I mean? But
exactly.
To each his own.
Yeah.
I think that would be his.
And I kind of agree with both of y'all. It's just like, it's cool. You can do your thing. If you want to be feminine, that's your prerogative. But just don't push it on everybody. That's all. Just don't push it on everybody. You know what I mean? We're free to do our own will, but when they start trying to push it on the youth and things like that,
For sure.
that can get kind of tricky.
Yeah. You got to be careful with that. You know what I mean? Live your life, but you know, you don't want to be taking up 2 seats in, you know, in the 3-seat row, and you're all over here leaning on everybody else and shit with your lifestyle.
Right.
Sure. I definitely want to talk about Dear Mama.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Hulu. We were both at the premiere in LA. I had Snoop in my row actually. I was just floored at how phenomenally shot and edited it was. Like, I really felt like I couldn't wait for the next episode to come out. Like, I don't know how you felt. Obviously, you were in it. And you didn't see it before it came out, did you?
I saw some of it before it came
Okay.
out. But I was the same way.
Yeah.
I was saying, like, wow, they did their thing with this.
For sure.
And it's no fucking accident that it's nominated for 2 Emmys.
Oh, shoot. I didn't know that.
It's nominated for 2 Emmys.
Okay.
So,
wow. Hell yeah.
Yeah, kudos. Yeah.
Dear Mama and all his all the family that was in it. You know what I mean? It was a great project, man, and it was fitting of Tupac, and it was well deserved. And I think the angle that they took, as far as, you know, showing the parallels between him and his mother, excellent, man, excellently edited. You know, excellent.
Yeah, the edits were insane. That's when I was like, damn.
Yeah,
whoever edited that.
Crazy.
Right.
Excellent project, man.
Okay.
Do you feel like it did do justice in fitting it? What was it, 4 episodes? 5? 5?
It was 5, yeah.
I mean, you know, I feel like it was a lot that happened in those 5 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, it was unfortunate because the Tupac movie that came out prior to suffered because Pac's life is so complex with so many layers.
Right.
It's hard to fit that in 2 hours.
That's true.
And
I
people
agree.
just absolutely wanted more. You know what I mean? And even with Dear Mama, it kind of satisfied people. You know what I mean? Because it's a full plate the way they did it. They had 5, you know, essentially 5 hours to tell a story.
Right.
That's a lot more room to get in a lot more detail and everything. So, you know, I'm glad people were satisfied with that, for that and with that project. But for Tupac, the hunger never goes away.
That's true.
They still want more. It's people that was like, yo, we need a Dear Mama part 2. And I'm like,
yeah.
What else could we talk about?
That's true. How do you feel that Tupac is still relevant now, in 2023, than when he was, you know, in the 90s?
Yeah, that's
how you feel about that?
It's amazing, man. It's just amazing.
It's a blessing.
It's a blessing. It's a testament to the hard work that he put in, and how creative he was and open he was musically.
Right.
I think that type of artist is always going to be endearing to their fan base.
That's true.
What was going through your head when they approached you to be in Dear Mama?
I was like, nah, another documentary, another movie.
Damn.
I'm cool.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I really was cool, but
yeah, because I would imagine you get hit up a million times to talk about it. So
a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lot with Tupac and what comes with Tupac. And so, you know, you try to be, you know, you just try to be careful with what you put your energy into.
Okay.
But after you know, just after chopping it up with the people that was behind the scenes and what they wanted to do and getting a clear vision of what they wanted to do, I decided to, you know, be a part of it.
That's good. That's good. With that being said, we also had Tupac star, you know, on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Man.
I'm like, y'all should have been did this. Like,
I think that was everyone's reaction.
You know, everybody's sentiments like, why now? You know?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Everything in its due time. You know what I'm saying? I don't question time anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
How did that feel just being there that day?
Yo, it was a dope day. It was a really dope day. And it was awesome for his family. You know what I mean? And his fans.
Yeah, definitely his fans.
It was a dope day for his fans and his family. You know what I mean? The people that championed Tupac Shakur. That was a great day for them. They was out there representing.
Sure, he was out there too, right?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, you didn't go?
No,
Okay. I was like, about time.
Yeah.
About time. Yeah. You know, so.
Was that something he saw for himself?
I don't know, but I know he loved LA, man. And so I know he was loving that. You know what I mean? He loved LA, and you know, he deserved that. That was well deserved, and his fans deserve it. And you know, you go by there now, you never know. It might be a candlelight vigil.
Right.
They was partying over there like days after. They was still over there partying. You know, the hustlers was sending t-shirts and shit. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? But it was. I think that's a great thing to have in Hollywood for his fans to be able to come.
Yeah.
And you know, because prior to that, everybody was like, "Yo, I gotta go to the spot where he got shot at in Vegas."
Right, Vegas,
and that's cool too.
Yeah.
But this is a little bit more.
Right.
Upbeat.
It's more of a celebration.
Yeah.
You know, something positive. Are you still close with the family, with his sister and things like that?
Essentially my family.
Okay. That's good. What about the Outlawz, the brothers that's still around? You still close with all of them too?
Yeah, absolutely. Castro was on my new project.
Okay.
And Noble in the studio.
Oh, okay.
Working on some music right now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And as far as any other members that's still alive,
yeah.
You know, Napoleon lives in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, okay.
Stay in contact. So
it's so funny. Steve LaBelle had brought him to his treatment center to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And I go in for a hug, and Napoleon's like, nah, like apparently he can't touch females.
Yeah,
I was shook. I've never had that happen to me. I swear, I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But man, you know, I respect it.
Yeah. You know, they got a different way of life.
For
he
sure.
He believes in the holy, and it to me, it saved his life.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, because he said he was an alcoholic, right?
He was an everything-aholic.
Oh, man.
As far as, you know, I don't mean like drugs and shit like that,
yeah.
but, you know, when you see the documentary, you get to know Napoleon and his story, which is a story of tragedy to triumph.
Wow.
Because the way his life started, and, you know what I mean? It's one of the reasons that Pac wanted him to prove it.
Right.
Wow.
The story is amazing. I just can't wait for everybody to see it because Pac's story is crazy. We talked about their mama.
Yeah.
But I think when you get down, when you get to our story, you'll see why we were all together and why the music came out the way it did.
Wow.
Okay.
So
we did it together.
Is it a documentary on the Outlaw?
Yeah, it's going to be a documentary and a eventual docu-series as well with actual acting and all of that shit. But the first is the documentary.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Who came up with the name the Outlawz?
It came from a lot of different aspects, but it started with a song called Outlaw.
Okay.
The last song on Me Against the World.
Wow.
And then it kind of just started to take on a life of its own.
Okay.
It became something that we couldn't even deny anymore. It just was what it was.
Okay.
Was he picky on who he kept around him?
Actually, you know, we had a very small circle. It wasn't really a lot of people around us. It was really just us most of the time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then, of course, when, you know, we got to Death Row, it became more of a family thing along with Death Row and everybody that was there. But, you know, prior to that, you know, Pac kept a pretty tight circle of people, you know, trusted.
Yeah. How do you feel about Snoop acquiring Death Row?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's a power move right there.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I think it's an absolute power move. And,
Snoop can do no wrong.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm anxious to see where it goes and what they do with it. You know, the future looks good though.
Right. Were you concerned at that time
What?
when Pac went over to Death Row?
Nah.
It was a celebration.
Concerned? No, I was just happy he was out of prison.
Right.
You know
That's true too.
So
you see that in Dear Mama, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just happy he was out of prison because I felt like he was wrongly convicted. And he
Absolutely.
Right. And so, you know, when that whole thing happened, it was just, it didn't matter if it was, you know,
whatever label.
Just get him out of jail at this point. Let's figure it out with him being outside of jail.
Right. No, that was it's amazing. Like when Tupac came to the West Coast, you know, the energy that he brought, it gave the West Coast that boost.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though we had Death Row, we had Snoop and everybody else, but when Tupac came, it was just like that extra cherry on top. You know what I mean? For the music, the influence, the way the fans loved him. So it was amazing. You know, that time or whatever. And I don't think we'll ever see that again.
Really? Yeah.
I don't. Not for it's like the impact that Tupac had.
Mm.
Yeah, I was interviewing Jeezy.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's your top 5? He was like, Tupac, 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 and he named 2 others. I don't even remember. But the fact that, you know, to me, Jeezy's one of the most legendary, you know, Atlanta royalty. So for him to, and then he's releasing a book. And I went to a dinner on Friday, and he was saying how he was reading Afeni's book, and he was inspired by one of the passages there. And it kind of made him want to write his own book. But it's like the influence goes beyond music, beyond film. It's like books, like intelligence, impact. It's like all encompassing, you know?
Yeah, it is. It's his body of work is crazy, man. And we got a chance to have it on display with the Tupac exhibit that ran for a minute. I don't know if y'all got a chance to make it.
I
heard about it. Yeah.
I think I hit you. I hit him to try to get free tickets. He's like, I don't even got free tickets.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. And it was like a chance for everybody to see, you know, from a very young age to, you know, 25, how much work this individual, you know,
that's true. He shared with the world. And so that's dope that artists like Jeezy and you know, any other artists, so many out
he
there.
would absolutely love that. You know what I mean? He was all about that kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially the underdog, people pulling themselves up by their bootstraps and figuring it out and making a way in this world, and especially this rap game.
Yeah.
I think that was also really dope for Dear Mama, just showing that he struggled to get on as well. Like, he had to work his way up.
Yeah.
100%.
Labels weren't calling. Like, he had to literally work his way up. I thought that was really dope for them to highlight that.
Absolutely. Started from, you know, got it out the mud.
Right.
True.
Got it out the mud. It was absolutely self-made. Pac designed himself. You know what I mean? Along with his experiences that he had in life, he designed himself. He wasn't like no A&R creation.
Right.
People was like, yo, you should get a tattoo.
Right.
You should put a nose ring.
Right.
He was self-designed. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's another thing that's rare in this music industry. Because trust me, a lot of these artists, what you see, they got a lot of moving parts to make them look what they look like when you see them.
Right.
Absolutely.
On another note, and I've been, I can't wait to get your opinion on this. Like, Tupac, you know, unfortunately, you know, he gets a lot of, talking about now, people who wait like 20 years later to say, you know, the negative things about Pac and this and that. How do you feel about that when you have people, whether it's on the internet, that's coming out and saying, you know, all these negative things, Pac wasn't this and Pac wasn't that. And I'm sure you being his friend, one of his closest friends, I'm sure it bothers you. You know, so how do you deal with that when you hear this stuff on the internet?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean, I always kind of get into it with Pac fans because I say shit like it don't bother me.
Okay,
I understand.
Interesting.
I understand that everybody got a job in this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's niggas that's gonna make history.
Yeah.
And it's niggas that's gonna talk about the niggas that make history.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody got their position to play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you figure out y'all figure out who y'all want to be.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's people that do both. To me, that's the media. You know what I'm saying? That's the media. They talk about greatness and they can produce greatness as well. Yeah. But if you ain't media, then you just one of the niggas on the sideline. You know what I mean? Chirping from the stands about niggas that was on the court making history and legendary shit. And I understand it's people that can't do that. And so because they can't do it, they got to talk about the people that can do it.
I agree.
I'm a nigga on the court with legendary shit, doing legendary shit. And that's what we was about. That's what Outlaw Immortals was about. Doing shit that's going to last forever. And people got to talk about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We need them to talk about it.
Yeah.
If they ain't talking about you, you ain't really doing much.
True.
You got to work harder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, Pac is that kind of nigga that niggas is going to talk about. He was very polarizing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You either loved him or hated him.
Right.
There's really no gray area with him and his art.
Yeah.
You either loved it or you don't like it.
Yeah.
And so that's what's up. That's what he was here for.
Yeah. And it's crazy right now. Like
I just want to add though.
Go ahead.
The only thing is facts.
Okay.
That's the only thing that I, that I'll be like, okay, well, that's not actually true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't speak facts. That's what we're talking about. opinions, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't care about opinions.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But be correct.
Yeah.
When you talking that shit.
Yeah.
You know
I
what mean?
agree, because right now, and you know as well, we're in a level where clout is a big drug for a lot of people. Oh, if I just get out here and say this about Pac, well, it's not, whatever, you know, if it's a lie, oh, the attention's going to be on me. And you see that, you know what I mean? And that's something I don't agree with, you know.
But it's like, it's the nature of the beast. Like, you got a podcast, and so to get your podcast and make sure your podcast is seen, you gotta put it in the heading.
Yeah.
What's going, because it's a scroll world.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So everybody's scrolling, and they
what's
see
going to get
Tupac,
the most attention?
People gonna stop immediately.
Yes.
And then if it's controversial, well, I heard Tupac ain't like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
such and such. Yeah.
Such and such. So Tupac was this. People gonna click on that. So it's clickbait. You know what I mean? And you know, he's that guy. He's that big. He's that huge.
Yeah.
Of an artist, and a presence still to this day that people gonna use that.
Exactly.
100%. You know what I mean? Whether it's good or bad.
Right. Shirley, you gonna say something?
Well, I was gonna bring up that you got your own podcast.
Oh, you do? Yeah. Oh, okay.
What's it called?
It's the Outlawz Show.
Okay.
The Outlawz Show.
What can
next episode right now is actually with Alan Hughes.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Okay.
From Dear Mama, and we're gonna talk about Dear Mama. We talk about his favorite movies.
Okay.
You know what I mean? His relationship with his brother, his relationship with Tupac.
Right.
It's a dope interview.
How you like being in the podcast world?
Well, I was kind of in the radio prior to the podcast. I had a show, the early version of a podcast, like way back in 2013, 14, with a show called A Real Talk Show. And so I kind of been doing this a minute. I love doing it. I love hearing people's journeys. I love interviewing people and, taking the light and sharing it with other people. It's dope. You know what I mean?
Back to Alan real quick. I just think it's crazy full circle. Just what happened with him and Tupac and Menace to Society, and to have him do Dear Mama now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's wild.
That is, man. You know, the journey is amazing. Again, like, I had a great time talking to Alan, and Alan is an open dude. You know, he talks freely. He don't really hold back, and you know, he talked about what happened between him and Pac and how he felt. And he was
fire. I really did like that. That they put him on camera for a second.
And that was super dope. And he was even, man enough to admit with some things he could have did differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
For
and
sure.
So I thought that was excellent. And people need to see that growth is possible. You know, just because somebody had an issue, two people had an issue before. You know what I mean? And even Pac in an interview said, he wished he had a chance to, apologize to the Hughes brothers. So he even had got to a point where he saw, I could have did something differently in handling the situation. So it was growth on both sides.
Yeah, that's mature as hell to be able to apologize.
Yeah, man, because, a lot of people don't,
Right.
Niggas is getting killed for less. So,
say it again.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's growth right there, and it's possible, and it's, it's possible for all of us.
That's true.
Sure.
As men, as black men, to have conflict resolution and not always go to violence.
That's
as
true.
It means
I agree.
Man, I know you had Gangsta Boo too. I had her on my
show.
Cool.
Okay.
She is one of them, like, once you meet her, you're just like, damn, that's the homie. Like,
I still just smile when I talk about it.
Yeah.
I still smile because she was definitely one of my favorite people in this industry. Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just a light,
Bro,
just
she
real.
was so cool.
You know what I'm saying? And just who she was, man. And every time we was around each other, we had some epic nights where we partied, and we had some, you know what I mean? We actually, she's on the first Hope Dealer Part 1.
Fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on a song called The Restless 90s.
Yeah.
With me, her, and Mitchie Slick.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And
okay.
The last time I seen her, I had invited her to the Onyx event, the Onyx Roses event.
Oh, you invited her?
Yeah.
That was so dope to see her come through.
She thanked me so much because she was like, man, I've been watching Moesha. I was watching Moesha, and she loved Fredro, man.
Oh, man, who doesn't love Fredro?
So, yeah, absolutely. That's my guy right there. And so, I was glad that was able to happen. You know what I mean?
That's love.
Yeah.
That's so dope to know that you invited her.
How did you feel when you heard she had passed away?
Huh?
How'd you feel when you
Bro,
heard she had made
that
the
was on New
transition?
Year's. That was literally
That
the
was fucked
worst
up.
New
Yeah.
Year's ever.
that was a shitty way to start the new year.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a shitty ass way to start the new year. When I got the call, I was like, nah, you can't
I know.
say
I
this.
was in denial. I was like, "There's no way."
It's a mistake.
Yeah.
I got
Did you know
twisted
she
up.
was struggling?
I didn't. But nah, cause like I said, the last time I seen her, I interviewed her in the Honest event. She was in good spirits, man. She was in good spirits when I seen her. But you know, how the saying goes, man. Check on your friends,
That's
check
true.
on your people,
I
check
agree.
on even the strong ones.
Yeah,
Right.
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
sometimes the strong ones, people just kind of, oh, they alright, they good.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They get, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not always the squeaky wheel that needs the attention.
I agree. I agree. It was a big blow, especially to the hip hop community.
You talk about females in hip hop, man.
Yeah.
She
was a
made that
pioneer.
shit possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, she was definitely one of the pioneers from that
Yeah,
golden era
especially
we
from the
talking
South.
about, from the South, from
Yeah.
the '90s, coming
Yeah.
from a group of all dudes,
Exactly.
being the only female and really holding her own.
Holding her own, exactly.
Holding her own, man.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I really feel, I told her the last time I seen her, I said, yo, you about to catch another wave.
Wow.
You about to get another turn. Your turn, because she was popping up on different, you know what I'm saying, different singles.
And
True.
Lotto was showing her
Yeah,
mad
Lotto.
love.
And all she needed to do was just drop the right record.
Exactly.
And you know what I'm saying? Because her sound is really the sound that from the City Girls to Lotto
to the
Megan,
Glorilla.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Glorilla.
Yeah. Exactly.
They all got a little boom.
She birthed them. She birthed them all.
Mm-hmm.
Especially from the South. Yeah.
I just hear her saying Maine.
Oh yeah, that's Memphis.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah.
You know it.
That's Memphis all day long. Definitely.
Rest in peace, boo, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you any can we see any outlaw projects in the future for his music?
As far as right now, we just dropping solo shit. You know what I'm saying? But we'll pop up on each other's project.
Okay.
And we got a plethora of music out there, man. Just
Any shows? Any upcoming shows?
We're about to do a Canadian
sick.
Canada run.
Okay.
Beginning of September.
Oh, dope. Are y'all touring anybody, or y'all going out on the road yourself?
We're going out on our own.
Okay.
We launching our own pre-rolls real soon.
Oh, cool.
Everybody stay up to date on that.
Okay.
We're gonna do some in stores and different shit out here in LA.
Okay.
In LA, for sure.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
I'm surprised you haven't yet.
Well, we did. We
Okay.
actually had our pre-rolls. We did a limited run with this company out of the Bay.
What's it called?
It's gone.
Oh.
Gotcha. It sold out, man. Shout out to Steve Lobel and Lemonade. We did our launch over there.
Nice.
Sold out real quick. You know what I mean? But it was a limited run, so now we're going to come back with another one.
Hell yeah.
Keep
pre-rolls are the key to my heart.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Me too. Especially when you got things to do.
Right.
You know, I don't always have time to sit
Right.
there. I love rolling, but I don't always have time.
I feel you.
Sometimes I just need it.
I feel you.
Especially on the way to the gym.
Yeah. Who do you listen to when you work out?
Shit, I be listening to all kind of shit. Really, but it got to be up-tempo.
Okay, me too. Yeah.
I go back and forth from rap to rock.
You listen to rock? I love that.
Oh, yeah, I listen to rock.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Do you still listen to, because I've asked people that's a certain, age group or whatever, and most of them say, man, I still listen to stuff from the 90s or the early 2000s.
I feel like that's...
Are you one of those too that still just listen to a certain era or whatever?
Every now and then I'll go back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I really listen to a lot of old school R&B, old school soul music.
Okay.
You know what I mean? From the 70s, 80s. 90s.
Oh, okay.
That whole era. I really love that era, of course, because that's my era right there. So I listen to a lot of that. But I have times when I go back, you know what I mean? Go back and listen to my favorites from that era.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a lot.
What you gonna say, Trevor?
Oh, I don't remember. I was like, I was gonna ask if you have a go-to favorite hip hop song all time.
Good question.
Go-to favorite hip hop song all time.
Or favorite Pac song. That just puts you in that mood.
It's hard for me to do a favorite Pac song.
Okay.
I'm asked that question all the time, and I'm like any other Pac fan where I got a different Pac song for a different mood depending on, you know what I mean, where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to pick a favorite Pac song, but one of my favorite songs that we did together is Made Niggas. That'll always be
I remember
one of my favorites. Is Made Niggas. And as far as damn, it's so much hip hop.
I know. I was trying to remember because I have one, but I've got the name, so I'm about to look it up real quick.
I think now we at a point now with hip hop where we just got eras.
You do.
You know what I mean?
You do. I agree.
I got favorite songs from different eras.
Different eras.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
50 years, man.
Can you believe that? 50 years?
50 years of hip hop.
You think it's going to be around another 50 years?
Absolutely. You know what I mean? Hip hop is here to stay. It's a woven in the fabric.
Yeah.
Fabric of America. And so, you know, I had a very dope conversation with Shock G. Rest in peace. Shock G.
Rest in peace.
Many years ago.
Yeah.
And Shock G was one of the smartest individuals I had ever,
He definitely was.
Spoken to him. And I was like, yo, Shock, what you think next is in hip hop? And he was like, well, white people won't be doing hip hop more. This was pre-Eminem.
Seriously.
You know what I mean? He said, you know, white people gonna tell their story and it's gonna add to hip hop, you know what I mean?
He predicted that.
Yeah, he absolutely told me that. Face to face. And shit, like less than a year later, Eminem was like one of the biggest rappers in the world. You know what I mean? And so I just think hip hop is gonna continue to expand with different people having a voice.
Right,
you know?
right.
Especially more internationally. Shit, one of the biggest hip hop artists in the world is Canadian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Drake.
Drake's not an American. You know
That's
what I mean? That nigga's from Canada. So, you know what I mean? And so it already he been the biggest rapper like
for a minute.
Decade.
For a minute, yeah.
And so, you know, you got Afro beats coming.
Right, that is a huge
wave. I think, you're going to see, you know, rappers rapping on Afro beats. And they're going to have to.
I agree. How do you feel about the whole AI thing right now? Because they say that's going to take over hip hop.
I know. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
So
we're going to have to be very careful with that. Especially the artists.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The writers and the actors on strike right now.
Yeah, that's part of it too.
You know what I mean?
That's part of it too.
The musicians, I think, you know, I spoke about it earlier as far as the streaming and percentages and everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's really one-sided.
Yeah.
And AI kind of eliminate what little bit is there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they can make a Drake record without Drake.
Exactly, without Drake.
Yeah.
But
it's wild.
With that being said, and not to cut you off, Shirley, but I was going to say this. Like, you know, you have a lot of artists that's selling their publishing, you know, right now. You know, it's like every week.
They're selling their catalog.
Their catalog. Yeah, I'm sorry. The catalog. So, with them not owning their catalog anymore, that makes room for the AI to come in and be like, hey, we can use all of Nelly's record or all of Future records. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what it's going to look like 5 years from now, you know, in hip-hop.
It is. It's going to be very interesting to see, man. You know, I love technology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Technology is dope.
Yeah.
The way we can do things nowadays with such ease is amazing.
Right.
It really is.
Right.
But who's running the show?
That's true.
Be very careful because who's running the show? Are we controlling the technology or is the technology taking over? Right now, we almost can't live without these.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hate that.
I hate my phone. I hate my phone too, but it's
throw it.
It's like the technology has gotten to the point where if you don't have one of these, you almost living in the stone.
Literally, my apartment building just changed the locks to an app called Latch. And I'm just like, what if you don't have an iPhone? Like, how do you expect to get inside? That's just
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
You know what I mean? And you know, who's running the show?
Right.
That's true.
We gotta be careful, man, because in a minute, it's almost to a point where the computers are all running the show.
Yeah. They already got the driverless cars on the road right now.
You know what I mean?
So
I'm not even with the driverless car.
Me neither. I don't like that shit.
Yeah, like you could drive me anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't want to go.
That's true. You're right.
Same.
But I know.
What if the car thinks you're a suspected murderer?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a glitch.
It's a glitch.
Yeah.
It just
locks the doors and takes you to the police station.
Yeah, literally.
Wait,
no, that's real. That is real.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they already got them on the road in Phoenix, in Arizona, and New Mexico. I think I heard it's Waymo, right? Waymo or whatever.
What do they do?
It's a driverless car.
Oh.
They already on the road right now.
Yeah,
They operating as Lyft.
I got a couple of friends that got Teslas, and they love FaceTime.
Yeah.
And showing off while they sitting in the back in the cars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah, that's what's
Wait,
nice.
they don't even got to sit in the driver's seat? Oh,
They're sitting in the driver's seat, but you don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
They're in the driver's seat, but you don't.
You just
You could be in the back seat.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good too.
Yeah, I'm good too.
Yeah.
I take my cruise control. That's
Yeah. That's good enough.
I gotta still stare, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like,
that's crazy. Okay, I found it, but it was one of my favorite songs of all time. Sometimes I Run Slow by Nice and Smooth.
Oh man, shout out to my big brother Smooth B.
Right,
Yeah.
I love
Smooth B is one of my
him.
favorite people.
Me too. He got so much energy. I love him.
He's a great human being.
Yeah.
And that's a great fucking song.
Right.
Yeah. Shit, one of my favorite songs is Do It. With Nice and Smooth and
Guru.
And Guru.
Hell
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great fucking song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love it.
Yeah.
So E.D.I, I mean, we want to thank you for stopping by and blessing us.
Great conversation.
You know what I mean?
You.
Especially taking the time out of your day to come by and drop some jewels on us. You know?
My pleasure.
Yeah. Any projects or your website, Instagram you want to give out to the fans?
Man, check out o4ldigital.com.
Okay.
O4ldigital.com. Everything. Got merch, music.
Okay.
Interviews.
Okay.
What kind of merch?
Put the link. Got shirts, hats.
Okay.
Nice.
Things for the ladies as well.
Right. And the podcast, right? The podcast?
Podcast is the Outlawz Show.
Okay.
Definitely check out the next episode with
Alan Hughes. Okay.
I
The one
definitely
prior
will.
to that was with Deontay Wilder.
Oh,
fire.
cool. Okay.
Dope.
I'm gonna definitely check that one out.
That's in 2 parts.
Okay.
Yeah, check them all out, man. I've been interviewed some interesting people.
Okay. Definitely check it
I
out.
love it.
Shirley, you got anything you want to say?
Nah, thank you for coming on. You're a walking
you.
legend out here.
Thank you, good. Thank you again, Shirley. And
Of course.
thank you. Nice to meet you, bro.
Oh, likewise. Nice to meet you too. When she said, I got E.D.I coming by, I'm like, that's a legend right there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
On a
man.
legendary group, the Outlawz.
I appreciate that.
So I was honored.
Thank you.
I thank you guys for tuning into the rap scene. We catch you next time.